So you'll see. Okay. Yep, everything says live. All right.
Yeah, all right.
Hello. Good evening. Good afternoon. The Eddie Jackson 220 Quarterback Club is about to begin. We always start on time. But first is Little Walker has an announcement to make, and she's back in the kitchen. So as soon as she comes out, we will have Little Walker to make a couple of announcements. Dr. Walker. And once here she comes out. And once Neil is finished, her Joe is going to come up and he's going to talk a little bit about it.
Rattlers, I just have 3 announcements to make. Many of you are CIS, a computer information systems major. Professor Barbara Black, who's also my neighbor and a life member of the Alumni Association, and a funeral will be this Thursday. And the second one is the announcement is the clubhouse will be closed until September. They just reopened it maybe 3 weeks ago because the tornado damaged the air conditioning. And now the safety department discovered that it's not safe because they're going to have to replace the roof and the floor. So it won't be available until sometime in September. And I got one more, which is the football team. In Matthew, Bethel AME Church, our church, the Bethel family is inviting the football team to worship with us on Communion Sunday, which is this Sunday coming. And they will feed them a full course meal. Okay? And you see, Bethel AME is first. Thank you. So we're inviting all of you to come and worship with us and wear your orange and green.
Leila. Thank you. Come, Joe.
Barbara Black's funeral is Thursday, 11 o'clock in Trinity.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing? I want to talk to you about the kickoff luncheon a little bit. We still need your help. We want to raise a good sum of money that we can give to the athletic program. It's going to be on the 10th of August. We'll have a golf match in the morning, and we'll come to lunch. We're going to start it at 2 o'clock. Now, we had VIP tables. The VIP tables are $500 a piece. The bad news about those is they're gone. There are no more $500 tables. But we do have $450 tables. And so you can get a $450 table, and we'd be happy to have you do that. The difference is with the $450 table, you can buy a $60 ticket and you can sit in one of those, or you all can get together and get a group and buy a table and actually save some money while you're doing that. The golf tournament is being called Coach Colzie, Garfield, and Yilmaz, and it's going to go start up at 7 o'clock. And we'll start hitting the ball at 8 o'clock. We'll be giving some prizes and a snack out there. And as I said earlier, the coach may come out there. We're going to have a golf cart for him to get on and just come by and wave back and say hello to you, and then come on back to the business that he has to do. You can play golf for $75 a piece, or for $300 you can get to be a team. The team will be teams of 4. There will be a pep band. Well, let me skip a little further. So after that's over, we're going to come back to the Al Lawson Center and have a great occasion there. We think we're going to have a pep band. The cheerleaders will be there. Football players will be there. The volleyball team will be there. There will be vendors there. And it's a good chance to have a good time. We'll be giving away some prizes and the whole bit. So come out and do that. Then I'd like to remind you that while you can buy that $450 table, or you can buy a $60 seat, if you will, on your hand, you can contribute. And so there's some folks in here. If you're a booster, raise your hand so everybody can see you. If you get a hold of one of these folks, they will tell you how we can get you. We have a link. You can take that link, and from home, you can contribute money and still help our athletes by contributing some money. And then there's Fan Day. Bill reminded me last week, we have Fan Day. That's being done by the athletic department. But our football players and the volleyball players will be up in the upper level. You can go up and get your signature from one of the athletes, and then you can carry that home with you, and you can enjoy it very, very much. So those of you also out in the land, give us a holler, and we can get you a link so you can give some money without coming here. I'm going to give a couple of telephones, so get your pens ready if you want it. And for those of us that are here, if you come by up here, we'll have it for you. 850, that's the same for both of them. 583-1537. That's me. Call me day or night. I'll help you get one. Selvin Cobb, same area code, 583-0738. And then John C., although not here, you get him as well. 850. Where? Okay, he's over there. 583-0898. You can contact any one of us, and we can help you get you hooked up with the link. So from wherever you are, you can make a contribution, and we would appreciate it very much. So let's come out on the 10th. Let's have a great time. Let our athletes know how proud we are of them, and let's raise some money so we can give it to them and have a good time. Thank you. Any questions? It's been a pleasure. Y'all have a great day. Let's pray.
One other announcement I have is that the Rattler Booster Hotel in Atlanta will be, we got rooms for the 23rd and the 24th. They are $139 a night. If you're gonna drive up, parking would be at $24. So if you need a reservation, please give me a call at the number that was just repeated, or you could either call me at 850-445-9689. Okay? All right. Now, what we've been waiting for, is there a question?
Colonel Joe.
Yes.
You're gonna put that up on the internet, on the whatever. YouTube, so that they can get those television.
All right, okay. But for those that are at home that's watching, we will be posting those for you, so you don't have to use your memory to collect the digits that were given. Okay, now what we all been waiting for is we have Brother James Colzie III is going to bring us some updates for the football season that's coming up. So now I'm going to turn the mic over to my good brother, James Colzie III.
Did we agree on whether it's good night or good afternoon? Last week we had our offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, Coach Henry. We had our defensive coordinator, linebackers coach, Coach Milton Patterson, and then we had our special teams coordinator, Coach Doc Gamble. Coach Doc Gamble got up here last week, and if you guys remember correctly, he made mention that his wife and family, they were all out of town, right? And, he said he ate out every night, if I remember correctly, and I think he did that strategically. I just want to let y'all know that. So, and then they all shot out of there, and they all shot out last week. We had to get back to meetings, and then Dr. Walker came and gave me about 4 or 5 crates that I felt to take away back to the office. And so then I went back in there, gave Coach Campbell his food. And obviously he had made mention of how great the food was. So, you know, a couple of coaches asked me, man, like, maybe who's doing that food? I said, hey, man, he made mention to the 220 Club. He said that he was going to be hungry over the next 3 or 4 days. You know, and Dr. Walker made sure that he wasn't going to be. So now, I want to let y'all know that everybody in my office now is hungry, and they'll be hungry for the next 3 or 4 days. And they say, Coach, don't come back with empty hand. So just no pressure. I just want to let you guys know that. Now, I'm a proud member of the St. Paul AME Church in Miami, Florida, and so I don't know if we picked the Bethel AME Church first by accident, right? I don't know. No accident. Okay. I don't want the Bethels arguing with me these next 2 weeks, but it'll be. It's always been a tradition, obviously, and I wanted to make sure we kept that tradition with this football team. You know, we'll bring, you know, we'll use both Sundays. Normally, we would have used last Sunday, but preacher could not be there, so we're doing Bethel AME this upcoming Sunday, and then we'll do Bethel Baptist the following Sunday. So obviously, really important for us. And it gives me an important lead into, as a staff, every morning we do devotions. You know, when you come into our staff room, gotta give you the picture. We got 2 big tables on both sides of the room, and then right behind me is a list of coaches that have Hideaway. So our team chaplain did the first one, our first day. Of our first day, I want to say, of kicking off camp. Then I went, and then there's a list of each coach that goes by. And I can tell you, you can tell who has devotion, and when it's their turn to do devotion, you can tell, right? In the Bible, you know, they're sitting down there really quiet, because they're practicing, right, what they're going to say, and what lie they're getting ready to tell us. You know what I mean? And while everybody else in there is just kind of, you know, we just sit down. We already have the pressure of doing our devotion in front of the staff. So, you know, but it's something that we do every day. And then once we kick off the season, we'll do it. We'll do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But it's, you know, it's for us. It's just a refresher to let everybody know, you know, why we're able to do what we're able to do. You know, obviously, extremely blessed to be the 19th head football coach here at Florida A&M, and you know, we're blessed to be around just wonderful alumni, wonderful support, wonderful guys that we get a chance to see every single day. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of talk about how we just finished our 6th day, and Coach Wyndham actually had devotion today. He said something to me that really sparked, sparked my interest. So I'm going to read a little bit of it today, right? And then I'll lead me into how I feel our football team is doing right now. So what he said today was, he said, not every day is going to be perfect, but that doesn't mean every day doesn't have a purpose. So I'll read it again. Not every day is going to be perfect, but that doesn't mean every day doesn't have a purpose. Now, and what I mean by that is obviously, you know, today, and I'm going to say this in front of my DB coach, right? And obviously me being a defensive head coach, today we didn't have a very good day on the defensive side of football. We gave up a couple deep balls, right? That's not normal for us defensive guys, right? But that offensive guy that's over here sitting right next to me is extremely excited because, right, we had a bad day. That means offense had a great day. Right, and we actually had one more play that we were supposed to do one more play today, but the play before the last play, I think you guys, how long was that touchdown? About 50, 60 yards. Yeah. We had about 60 yards. We said yes. They had about a 50 to 60 yard touchdown pass. So I decided just to end the practice. Right? I don't know if they thought I did because I was happy, but I wasn't happy. Right? But I am happy because obviously, you know, there's always going to be good days and bad days for offense and defense, right? And so today we had a bad day, And then was my man Gerald Thomas. He around. He my man Mr. Thomas. He decided to interview the defensive players after practice, defensive coaches, so. But that's the sign of a good team, right? Every single day you have one side of the ball answering the bell, right? You have one side of the ball who's handling adversity and ends up having a great practice. So my expectation for us tomorrow is obviously defensively, right? We do some soul searching, and we should have a better practice than we did today, right? And most of the time we have good teams. That's generally what happens, right? Offense wins, defense gets mad, they win the next day. Then the defense wins, right? Then offense gets mad, and they win the next day. And that's where we're at right now. We've done a really, personally, I think we've done a really, really good job with our quarterbacks, moving them in and out, putting them in different situations. We obviously we practice early. We practice early at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then we got a couple of practices late in the afternoons because I wanted our guys to get a little bit of this heat just to get used to it. But we've only had 6, right? We've only had 6 practices, and the guys are, they're getting used to each other. They're getting used to each other. We got a couple team bonding events that I might need your help with. And we'll talk about that at another time, but. Couple of team bonding events I really, really feel will be important just for our team. It's great to yell at them on the field, and it's great to see them on the field, and obviously, it's great to see them every day in meetings and in football settings. But I think I've said this a few times where we won't be where we need to be if we're not a close unit, if we're not playing together. And you can just tell there are some times where the guy to the left or maybe the guy to the right is not necessarily depending on each other like maybe we have like we've had over the last couple of years and the plays we've had in the last couple of years. So we're getting there, and the research and the numbers will tell you that they got to care about each other before they can play together. And so that's where we're at. We had practice. We had our first day, and it was like our first day in pads. We had about 3 fights, during practice. And then they're like, Coach, you're not gonna do anything about it. I'm like, no, not really. I'm gonna stay out the way. Here's what I'm gonna do. Trust me, I would have been a little worried if we didn't have any fights. You know what I mean? But I will tell you this: when the big offensive linemen, the defensive linemen start fighting, you better duck. I'm telling you, big Jamie Dawson, Davion Westman, they were going at it. And nobody was rushing in there to stop. But either way, we're 6 bucks then. Tomorrow will be another full pad day. NCAA, back in the day, right? You could go 2 days for 14 days, and hey, if you made it, you made it. If you didn't, you didn't. But now NCAA is a little bit different, right? You can't have back-to-back full pad days, right? You got to have what you call acclimation days, right? So first 3-4 days you can't be in pads, right? The first 2 days you can only be in helmet. So I mean that might be what's wrong with me right now because I had all these 2 days where nobody cared about me. I wish we would have had some of those rules, when I was playing, but that's not the case. So you got to acclimate the guys. You got to get them used. You got to get them used to the weather. But ultimately for this football team moving forward, we just gotta, I just gotta continue to work on making sure our guys are playing together and making sure they like, against love, at least they like being around each other. And but that comes with bringing you guys in. That comes with the transfer portal, right? That comes with, that's the nature of college football right now. And so but for the most part, we're doing a good job. They're eating well, right? Guess where they went after practice today? What's the one guess you think our guys went to after practice today? What do you think they went to? The what? They went to the library. And they went to the BRZ. We got a chance going to the BRZ for the third time camp. Again, appreciate you guys for allowing them to do that. And then obviously, trust me when I say they're in there for 3 minutes and then they're out. And it just does so much to help them on a daily basis just recover, right? Just to recover. So, we got a chance. So we kind of cut it in half. We go like yesterday, last time we went, think the offense went first, right? And the defense went second. Today, right, defense went first, and then the offense went second. So, we balance it out, and, all they need is 3 or 4 minutes. Now me, I was in there for 15. I'm not gonna lie. I just, where's Coach Colzie at? He to be honest, he's taking his feet up. So I definitely appreciate it. I know I'll have some questions later on, but I think it's important to introduce these 2 guys that you guys are going to be able to talk to today. I'll start off first and foremost. I want to let you guys know that when everything was going on with Coach Simmons and he left, and obviously we lost a couple other coaches. We lost our recruiting coordinator. One of my first moves was making sure that Marcus Wyndham, who coaches our running backs, became the recruiting coordinator. And everybody getting a lot of coach guys. Hey man, you guys had a great class. And hold on now, it just ain't me, right? We had an entire staff, and then we had a guy who kept everything together, who kept everything organized, kept everything going forward as far as the official visits, the unofficial visits, paperwork, talking to all the people on campus. He's basically the foundation that allowed us to have the number one recruiting class in FCS, right? So I'm going to introduce first and foremost our recruiting coordinator and our running backs coach, Coach Marcus Wyndham.
Good afternoon, right? First of all, Marcus Wyndham, going on my 3rd year in Rattler Nation from Mississippi, Macon, Mississippi. I spoke to you guys back in 22. Extremely excited, looking forward to putting a good product on the field. And as far as the recruiting department, it just wasn't me. It was collective as a staff. They identify good players, not just only athletically, but for good people. First of all, love the football game. All right, we got kids in here that loves football. And second of all, academically, all right, they got to fit the love and charity of FAMU. All right, third, obviously, athletically, the fit out scheme. They fit out scheme. And we signed some really, really good players, and we're excited about what they've been doing. And day 6, we're excited about where we are. So I will open the floor to any questions or anything you guys have for me. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Coach, I was just wanted to ask, Mike, I guess a lot about running back. Delonte Somerset, how is he coming along, and where is he along in your process?
That's a great question. He's one of my top highlight players right now in practice 6. If we go out tomorrow, Bo Somerset will probably be running back 1. He catches the ball well. He dents. He runs the ball hard. He finishes the drills. But he's doing a really, really good job. We're excited about Bo. To talk about that running back room, we're extremely talented. We was talented last year as well. With Kelvin Dean, Jacquez Yant, Terrell Jennings, that's obviously with the New England Patriots right now. We got extremely talented. Those guys wasn't selfish. It's testament to the brotherhood they have in that room. We had one football and all that talent in that room. And we got more talent this year. With Bo Somerset coming back, Kelvin Dean coming back. And we also signed some really good players. What's my man from Miami, Thad Franklin. He's a really, really good player. He's going to be the Terrell Jennings, Jacquez Yant type of running back. He's an early down banger. Can catch the ball well out the backfield. And then we can get the ball down the field to him as well. So we're excited about what we're doing in the backfield.
Hello. You mentioned catching the ball well out the back. So that, are you saying that we will see more swing passes and the running backs, possibly, normal?
Yeah.
Go down to that question.
Quarterback's been doing a good job of taking the ball down to the running backs. I say we caught more balls this spring and fall camp since I've been here checking the ball down. So they're doing a really good job of delivering us. We're doing a good job of finding our spots where we need to be as far as the progression in the pass plays.
So now with the swing passes,
That's Miss Hadley right there. She tried to correct me years ago. What I'm trying to say is this. Will we see officials calling more ineligible down the field when you're going to be pretty much designed with the swing pass?
No, with our alignment and with how we present it, we want him to get called in and he plays downfield. We catching the ball behind the line of scrimmage, so we'll be fine in that department as far as swing passes and angles of where we're catching the ball at. So we'll be fine.
How many wide receivers? We got some tall wide receivers.
Oh, we extremely talented.
Hi.
Oh yeah, we're extremely length. We got some length too, and we got some guys that can run. I think this probably be the most talented receiver group I've ever seen since I've been here. One of my third year thing. We're extremely talented, and we got some really long guys that can run.
Your quarterback competition has that.
They compete every day. They're doing a really good job. And we gave them some things that they need to work on. Coach Burry did, and they get those corrected daily. And we can see the progression they're making, and they're moving in the right direction. That's the Coach Colzie question. Those who do a really good job, they compete in everything.
Good answer. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What's up, cuz?
Davion Westmoreland, he's a grad transfer from Kansas. He's 6'5", 250-pound defensive end that probably replaced Dunn. We also signed Terry Kinsler from FIU. He's a long guy that can run off the edge. Also, we got some returners coming back. We got Alan Smith, he's defensive end number 23, that played a lot of football for us last year. Losing those guys hurt, but again, in the recruiting process, we tried to replace those guys with some guys who got similar body type that can rush the passer as well. But we signed some really, really good dudes. We're going to stop the run again, and also we're going to rush the quarterback. Yes, sir. All of our signees are here. Yes, they've been here since a lot of these dudes got here late June. So they've been doing OTAs with us. So right now we're kind of ahead, but we still got a long way to go. A lot of the transfers that we signed, they've been here late June, early July. And the team is merging really, really well together. You can see it. Again, that's a testament of true brotherhood. That's a testament of Rattler Nation to see how the product we put on the field, the display, the support you guys give us day in and day out, from playing on ABC, ESPN Plus. Everybody want to be a part of that. Everybody want to be a part of that great nation. And again, we recruit kids that loves football. And I think we got a really, really good football team, that guys that go out every day with their blood, sweat, and tears and pour it on the line for us.
What's going to be the average weight of your offensive line?
Good question. We got some good thing about it. That line we had last year was really, really good. We won the Celebration Bowl, obviously, with that line. All those guys are returning. So that's really good. And then additionally, we signed a kid from Washington State. He's 6'4", 315 pounds. We signed a guy, a tackle from Troy. He's a 6'7" guy. So we're longer, we're lengthier, and I think we're better this year at offensive line than I've seen since I've been here. So we got some length and we got some weight. Yes, sir.
Yeah, one other question. I know it may be Coach Colzi's question, but quarterback competition is still going on. We hadn't got a number one name yet, but could you tell us who threw the 60-yard touchdown?
It's the walk-on kid from Miami.
Walk on.
That's right.
105.5. There's a mystery guy. Oh, y'all don't figure out who that mystery guy was.
I have no idea.
I just thought of it.
I have no idea.
This building. Okay.
But I appreciate you guys. Thank you for all you do for Rattler Nation. Appreciate it. To answer your question, yes, we still got 105.5. We're still trying to get the young man cleared, so he's waiting for me to call him back. He's been really, really persistent. So hopefully we can add him in the near future. Was another question. Oh, the touchdown pass. Who asked the touchdown pass question? Believe it or not, it was the freshman. Is it Price? Was it Price? Or something? Yeah, it was the transfer from the University of Miami who threw that touchdown pass. So, no, not the starter yet. But you know, it just goes with how talented we are. You know, you got a guy who's working with the 2s and the 3s throughout the day, and then he comes in and those are dime, I guess is what they say, right? He throws a dime, scramble to his left and threw it up, and receiver made a great catch as well. So, you know, you get you can kind of get yourself in trouble telling everybody how good we are. Everybody's picked us second and first, and I put us third. I did it for a reason. Trust me. I get a chance to see them every single day. Got a great group of guys, and you watch us on the field. You know, there's a little bit of a different feeling, but I just can't catch it yet. You know what I mean? We gotta still do fundamentals. We gotta still play low. We gotta be able to tackle well. We gotta be able to block well. We gotta be able to communicate well. You know, and so those are the things that I'm looking for at this stage, because we can be great at those things right now. We have a very good opportunity to do some promising things, because the team that won it last year, all of those things that I just mentioned, they did that more than they didn't do it. That makes sense. We weren't perfect. Y'all saw us play. We weren't perfect, but we were perfect when we needed to be.
Yeah.
Right. And so those are some of the things that I'm looking at. Obviously being on the staff last year, Coach Wendell being on the staff last year, you know, he had 3 guys that could have started for any team in our conference, but he managed that room extremely well. Right. Terrell Denny was a guy who played a lot in 2022. Jacquez Yant and Delvin Dean came, and a lot of people thought we were going to forget about number 23. And all that did for number 23 was it made him stronger, and it made him the type of player that he was at the end of the year. So, you know, we've done a good job of putting players in the room. It's going to be us. It's going to be up to myself as the head coach and the rest of the coaching staff to make sure we do a really, really good job of putting it together. So I'm smiling internally about some of the guys that we have, but we play August 24th. And the one thing I can tell you about Norfolk State is that whatever they're doing, they're going to try to do it to the best of their ability, offensively, defensively, and special teams, because they know that it's going to take their best to even have an opportunity to beat us, right? So those are some of the barriers or some of the things that we have to make sure that we do a good job of overcoming. When you win a championship, sometimes you were lucky, right? Sometimes you're just on the right side of luck. So hopefully we can continue to be on the right side. Maybe it's because of all these churches that we go to every Sunday. That might be one of the main reasons why we get something in luck. So it might not be luck. It might just be we're blessed, right? I'm going to. I know I got questions that I'll answer later on. I got those people on YouTube asking some questions, so I'll make sure I answer them before we go, Mr. Cobb. But I want to make sure that I introduce our next person. and had the opportunity to coach this young man while I was at the University of West Georgia. Now, I was the assistant head coach and defense coordinator. I had a defensive backs coach and special teams coordinator at West Georgia from 2008 to 2012. And but I had a chance to coach this young man there at West Georgia. Believe it or not, when everything was going on with Coach Morgan, I didn't interview, I didn't call anybody. I called one person because I already knew who I wanted. And the only bad part was he was coaching at Alabama State. So we realized that not everybody's perfect. So I didn't necessarily hold him to where he's been or where he's been in his past, right? But this young man, he's our defensive pass game coordinator. He's our defensive backs coach. He's gone through the gamut, and I'm excited to have him here on the staff. And he handles our back end. But this is Coach Andre.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How's everybody? Nice and food, huh? So this is the second time coming around, and the food is, spectacular. Again, this time I tried the chocolate cake. It was on point. All right. My name is Andre Folk. As Coach mentioned, lovely. I'm grateful to be here, coming from the school just north, and the Gump from Montgomery, so to speak. Right. Been here. Loved every moment of it. Family moved up and everything. Originally from Western Maryland. Last time I didn't answer where, but it's Cumberland, Maryland. All right, so it's way west. But been in Florida since March. Family moved here. Got 3 little ones, all girls. Fiance, all that good stuff. But camp wise, football wise, first off, it's a fit culture. The staff is lovely. Genuine people, and then coming here for the second time is the same type of vibe. So I'm excited. Coach Wyndham, I spoke to before and after the games, and 22 up at Alabama State, 23 last year down here, and I heard about the environment. I kept hearing about the FAMU atmosphere. It's probably cool or whatever, but when I got here, I was blown away. I was like, oh my goodness. So, Rather Nation does it right down here. So we're excited. As far as camp goes, so far so good. Offense definitely got the best of us today. So as coaches mentioned, there's a lot of explosion going on, and just not to put a target on us, anything like that, but we have some weapons, and not only weapons at the 1, 1s and 2 spot, but we're deep. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's some guys that can play football, and being in the speed state, they can run as well. So they is and we. So I'm a weak guy now. Any questions so far? Oh yeah, it is. So the offense got us today, but I believe it's 4-2 defense. Game 7, practice 7 will be tomorrow. Questions for me? Easy enough. On once, on twice. Thank y'all.
Got out of that one quick.
Ms. Walker, and I want you to know when you're a veteran coach, like we are here, especially coming in here, and Coach Wyndham's been here before, and Coach Wyndham told him that he can wear shorts here this Saturday. and I'm just saying, he said, yeah, you can wear shorts, ain't nobody gonna matter.
Yeah, the shorts are fine. They orange or
Okay.
cheese.
What color are you wearing? What color of the shorts you wearing?
Yeah, let's see this.
Black. I'll get a text and an email about the color of the shorts. Well, I think I had a couple questions that I needed to answer. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, sir.
Can't hear you.
Repeat the question.
He made mention how they're gonna raise the amount of scholarships at the FBS level. They're gonna go from 85 to what number was it again? 105. So then he asked me, what were we going to do on the FCS level? Because you know we get 63 scholarships. So I have not heard anything on that just yet. But the likelihood of them moving us up, if they move up FBS, then there's a strong likelihood they will move us up as well. I just don't know what the number is yet. I'm hoping they do, but especially being here in the state of Florida, we can have some more scholarships, have some more speed. Yes, sir.
Last year, I noticed that we invited the head of the fish dairy to family. And I think it's been touching around throughout the class. And we have such a relationship. You all develop a relationship with
Well, I don't know if they came to I think they came to about 5 or 6 of our spring practices this past spring, and then they'll be at our scrimmage this upcoming Saturday. And the meeting that you were discussing, he's supposed to come here August 8th. So and great question and great observation. I did that before, and we had done that earlier just to make sure that we had them for just our spring practice. Now they were mad at us because we practiced at 6 o'clock in the morning, so they had when you're an official for a game, and the game's at 6 o'clock in the morning, you gotta be here earlier. So yeah, we'll have officials. We'll have officials for our scrimmage on this upcoming Saturday. They'll be there for our special team scrimmage on the 10th, and then they'll be at our other, our Beanie Bowl scrimmage on the 17th. So it's just a matter of you send your practice schedules, and they'll let you. They really don't care when we practice. They want to know when we're scrimmaging, so they can also work on their mechanics and getting themselves ready. So we beat them to the punch because we had them actually here during spring. So.
last year, you were saying that it's kind of hard, difficult to recruit new officials because of the vote in itself. That should bother not so good officials in terms of their knowledge and their abilities.
In my opinion, we have the best officials in the country. We will do a much better job of staying off these officials so that every once in a while they give us a couple. You got to understand, when you keep yelling at me, you keep yelling at me, you keep yelling at me. The 50-50 calls, guess who they go against? The ones who yell the most are the ones who don't say anything at all. So I'll just leave it at that. They believe me, it's judgment. And in this game, it goes really fast. But I do know that they're human, and if you continue to stay on them and get on them and stay on them, don't be surprised if some stuff goes against you, right? Because I believe that they talk about, as an official, they have, just like we have our pre-games and stuff like that, officials have their own pre-games. And in there, they'll discuss how teams are, how coaches are. They'll talk about players. Hey, this player's this player's that. I don't know if during the pregame they said many favorable things about us while how we were on the sideline. So, hopefully one of the things that we can maybe get better with is letting them officiate, let us play. If we can do that, you might be surprised with how many calls we get as opposed to how many calls we get go against us. I trust me. I'll just tell them to look up at the stand, and that's all we got to do.
So from the from the 220 quarterback club, there's several questions. One of the questions is, where's the Booster Hotel? I don't know.
I'm not supposed to know that.
Is that which one? Which one?
I'm not sure. It just said the Booster Hotel.
These hotels in Atlanta and
Hampton Inn in Atlanta is what was said.
So just type that in.
Yeah.
You have the information? You want to type it in? You want to type it in the chat?
So
yes, sir.
when you're a defense, you seem to be now, you get different philosophy for substituting, how you handle it when you're really deep.
Well, my philosophy is to try to get next year's team ready this year. And I think that, that's the philosophy that I've carried, no matter where I've been. Coach Patterson has done a great job as our defensive coordinator since he's been named to that position. But we'll have different personnel packages based on the down and distances, right? In the offensive game now, they're using 10 personnel, 4 wide receivers. Then they'll go out there with 11 personnel, 3 wide receivers and a tight end. Then they'll go out there with 2 tight ends. So if the offense changes personnel, I think it's important defensively that we do the same. Now, we'll have some packages when it's 3rd down and long, and everybody in the stadium knows that they're going to throw the football. So we're going to go out there and play some extra DBs and put some pressure on the quarterback. So there'll be a couple philosophical changes, but as far as our defensive foundation, our foundation is stop the run and make sure they don't beat us over the top. So, but that's our foundation. But we got a lot of players that need to be playing. Now, if they're not starting, but they need to be playing in certain situations. So we're going to make sure we take advantage of that.
The question is directed to you. Ask Coach about the length of the grass on the practice field. Does it need to be cut, and can a group of boosters go and cut it? Just asking questions that's on here. Not my question.
We practice in the morning, so it'd be really, really hard for us to use any of the practice fields, right? Just because we practice in the morning now. I think somebody was out there maybe last night and maybe a couple of days ago. We were hoping to, I like to use the practice field when we practice in the afternoon. So, because for one, you don't want to be on that turf all the time, all right? We practice. Last practice we had on the turf, which I would have really liked to have been on the practice field. It was 11 o'clock in the afternoon. So you're on that turf when it's 90 degrees. That's a heck of a lot hotter than it would be on the per se practice field. So. I haven't checked the length. I know that they were out there cutting. Hopefully we get an opportunity to use it in the near future.
Yeah.
Another online question. Do we have a fullback option, and is everybody cleared?
Okay. Fullback option, we don't necessarily use the fullback much, but that's where we have about 2 or 3 tight ends. Right? We got 3 tight ends right now that could probably start anywhere in the conference. 2 of them are returning guys. And then we have another guy that we brought in from Pittsburgh by the name of Carter Johnson, who's just steadily came in and has just done his job. He was a Power 5 tight end. He played at Pittsburgh. He had another year, and he wanted to come down to Florida A&M. Well, he could have stayed at Pittsburgh and more than likely have been a starter. But now he wants to come to FAMU. He wants to be used a little bit more. So he's been a guy for me who's probably been our most consistent tight end up to this time. Now again, you got Kobe Gross, got Jeremiah Pruitt. Those are 2 guys that have played in 30, almost 40 football games since they've been here at Florida A&M. So don't say we don't have a full. I won't say we don't have a fullback or don't want a fullback, but I think Coach Henry and the offensive staff, they're doing a heck of a job using our tight ends. So those are something I think that we've done really, really well with. Now, what was the second part to that question?
Is everyone cleared?
We have 3 people that we're still waiting to get clear, and that's nothing. They just came in late. We got, you guys have followed us who we signed, and believe it or not, a couple of our guys that have signed, they graduated, right? They're in the process of graduating. So to play for us, and if you graduate from a previous institution, it has to. When you give your transcript, on the bottom of that transcript, it has to say that they've graduated. So so it's no fault to anyone. It's no fault to anyone. The guys graduating, they've done what they needed to do. They just have to wait for that transcript to say they've graduated, so then we can now put them in school, and so they can now practice with us. So we're waiting for that. But meanwhile, they've done their physicals, they've done everything, compliance-wise. But that's just one of the rules as far as graduates. And again, we
We've signed multiple guys that have graduated from the previous institution, but still have 2 years to play. So, I think I've made it known that we wanted to sign those type of guys, but we don't want to bring a guy in just for the semester. And if I can remember correctly, out of the 108 guys that we have on our football team right now, there's probably only about 2 or 3 guys that are just here for the just for this season, right? We were intentional. We were extremely intentional, making sure whoever we brought in, they had at least 2 years to wear the Florida A&M Rattler uniform. Yes.
How's the D-line doing? How's the defense?
They're doing well. A couple of guys. Oh, I'm sorry. How are the D-line doing? How's the D-line doing? A couple of, they're doing really well. A couple of guys didn't practice today. A couple, had some injuries or whatever the case may be, but it's part of camp. Guys are gonna get banged up, but the guys that didn't practice today, they'll be practicing tomorrow. All right.
What day is on pad day?
Oh, yeah. Well, we had pad day yesterday. Well, believe it or not, every day is pad day. I'll say it that way. So we only had 2 days when we were in helmets, right? 2 days that we were in helmets, 2 days that we were full pads, and then there was 2 days where we had uppers. We had our shells on. So it's technically full pad days, but we're not wearing our pants. But we do have pads in the shorts. If that makes any sense. So tomorrow we should be going pads again, all right? Full pads, and then we'll put helmets on Friday, and then we'll get ready for our scrimmage on Saturday. We'll go in the morning tomorrow. Or tomorrow's Thursday, right? Yeah, we'll go in the morning tomorrow. Then we'll go in the morning on Friday, and then we'll practice in the afternoon on Saturday. Because keep in mind, people asking why we're practicing in the morning. We're still in school. We don't have classes right now, so we go in the morning so they can go to class, right? And then we'll bring them later on. We'll bring them back later on so we can meet. So this will be the last week that we'll do that. But then after this upcoming Sunday, we'll get into our football season schedule where Sunday night we'll practice, Monday we'll be off, Tuesday and Wednesday we'll go in the morning, and then Thursday we'll practice in the afternoon. And hopefully we'll stay with that schedule, right, all the way up until December, which is ultimately when we play the Celebration Bowl. Man, trust me, that snooze button is almost worn out on my phone, and that alarm clock in the house. So I had to put the alarm clock in the kitchen, but I woke up in the middle of the night and pulled that sucker out and put it in the room. But it's working. It's working. It's still working. I just don't close my eyes after I hit the snooze button. So. Anything else? Yes, ma'am. Well, they're kind of in a similar situation that we are, right? Yes, first game, what you do is you check out previous coach. Like, so they've had coaching changes as well. Well, they kept their head coach. He made a change offensively. So what we do is now we find out where he was before, and then we take a look at what they do. Now, Marcus, correct me if I'm wrong. Defensively, did they have any changes? So offensively, like our offensive staff, they just look at what Norfolk did last year, and you kind of hope or guess that they're gonna be the same, right? So it's kind of a guessing game. You kind of feel yourself out and just see maybe that hopefully they're doing what they've done in the past, or you come out that first 2 series and you're surprised, right? So that's part of the first game of the year. South Carolina State will just be sitting at home watching us play, right? Well, because it'll be the same situation with them. Brand new head coach. What are they going to be doing? How are they going to be doing it? Well, we won't find out until when we play them August 31st. Now that's all we'll do. We'll play hard, and trust me, we already know August 31st this place will be rocking. So we don't need to be ready. They better be ready. As always, it's a pleasure to be here. I appreciate everybody giving me that pound. I know everybody's excited and ready to go. Obviously get a chance to see you guys next Wednesday. I don't know who I'm going to bring next week. I might bring a couple players, but if I bring I'm about to say, if I bring the quarterback, I'm going to bring all 5. and I'm just going to sit down and watch. But we'll see. Again, always a pleasure. I'll say one more thing. I know I had a couple people ask me while I was here today. Sorry. They asked about how we're handling practice. So, just because of and I'm just being transparent, we got a few jobs that are kind of on the line, right, with our football team. It's not just the quarterback position. We got a lot of people competing for starting jobs. So what I've done is, media-wise, I like for the first 20 minutes, I've allowed the media in, and then I've closed it. Right, I've closed practice. I want the guys to focus and lock in, and trying to keep this thing as secretive as we can. And then at a certain time, well, not at a certain time. My man Jerry and I, we talked a couple days ago. We've actually gone longer in practice than we have in the past, because I want to make sure we finish practice. But I also want to make sure that it's great to have coverage for our football team. And trust me when I say I appreciate it. I get a chance to basically talk to almost the same 3 or 4 people every single day, because I know that they truly, truly love Florida A&M, and I'm excited about the opportunity to be the coach, right? And I'm excited about all of the advertisement and all the marketing that we may get throughout the year. But this is what I need you to do, okay? And these are people that want to come to practice and want to watch practice, okay? I need you to take down my email, if you do not mind, because it's hard to tell security the day you come, especially when it's at 6 o'clock in the morning. But I'm gonna give you my email. I probably shouldn't do it, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because I know people want to. The people that are writing it down, they want to come watch this practice. But my email is really easy. First name is James, and then it's .Colzie at FAMU.edu. Simple. First name my last name at FAMU.edu, and just shoot me a message about when you may want to come, and I'll let security know. Now, the only I want to make sure I say this: the only time that it will be closed, for sure, will be our scrimmages, and obviously there's a reason for that. But anytime, I think the gentleman said he tried to come to Tuesday's practice, and I just say our security's doing a really good job. It's probably the best way to say it. They're doing a hell of a job. I can tell you that. There ain't nobody in. So, but I don't want to shy away, and I don't want to not let people that are coming to see us practice in the morning. So just do me that favor. Shoot me an email the day before you want to come, and I can put it down. And if you want to give me any play suggestions, which I know you're going to want to do anyway, just add that to the email as well. But always a pleasure to see you guys. And I know I'll get a chance to see you guys next Wednesday. I look forward to it every single day. I say my little prayer before I come in here. And so far, it's worked. But I want to say thank you again, and I'll see you guys next week.
Okay, this concludes the Eddie Jackson 220 Quarterback Club meeting. Yes, hold on. Vaughn,
For those people who are looking for a bus, there is a bus that's going to go to Troy, Alabama State, and Jackson State. And I have copies of the Xavier Williams. I got copies of it.
Okay, for those people that didn't hear Tommy, copies for the bus are back at the table. So please pick one up. Okay, thank you. We'll see you all next week.
That's efficient.
Oh yeah.
Although you drag my nephew in, AC had to that's my nephew.